it's Talisha, and today we have Sugar's first comp. So we are going to Camden Dressage for a members dressage day, which is really nice because it means we don't have to braid, we don't have to even wear a jacket, so come with us. Before we get into this exciting video, I just wanted to thank the sponsor of this video, which is Ana Luisa. Now, I have worked with this company a few times now, so I'm sure you guys already know how much I love them, but I'm going to remind you for another time. I'm actually wearing some of their pieces right now. I'm currently wearing the Ash double earrings, as seen right now. I love them. They're absolutely stunning. And if you guys know me well, you know how much I love my jewelry. I'm very particular with what I wear. And I have so many pieces from Ana Luisa now, and it is pretty much all I wear. The other really nice piece I currently have on is the watch strap bracelet, which I'm obsessed with. I love big gold pieces like this. It's just such a statement piece. So at Ana Luisa, they hold their jewelry to a higher standard because the investment you can make in yourself also benefits the planet. How absolutely incredible. I love that. So Ana Luisa provides stunning earth-friendly jewelry that actually lasts. They continue to challenge the jewelry industry by bridging the gap between quality, accessibility, and sustainability. They craft their jewelry to stand the test of time, making sure that you know how and where your pieces were made, which is not something a lot of companies do, especially jewelry companies, so I love that. Their designs are timeless and really affordable, which is lovely. The quality is honestly unmatched. As I said, I'm a big jewelry fan and I can stand by this statement well and truly. I have had some of their pieces for years now and they look brand new still, and I have worn the absolute heck out of them. And on top of that, their commitment to the environment never wavers. It's just amazing. I could not recommend a company higher. So if you are interested in purchasing or just even looking at the Ana Luisa website, make sure you use the link in my description and use code Talisha20, which is also on the screen now, for 20% off your order. 20%. What a deal. Make sure you guys don't miss out on that. Fit check. We're up super early today. My first test is at 8 o'clock and I live an hour from Camden. So, and being Sugar's first comp, I want to get there an hour and a half before my start time. So I've been up since 4:30. Which I mean is only like half an hour before I normally get up during the week, but I still hate getting up early on the weekends because it's supposed to be when I can sleep in a little bit, but not today. That's okay. The joys of having young horses and being in the baby tests means you're going to be early in the day. Really, I could easily go back to bed right now. Not kidding at all. Sugar is just eating her breakfast. So is Bambi next door. And then we're going to put Bambi out and put Sugar on the float. Okay guys, so as usual, I'm just going to do a little talk through of my tests now. Hey, it's somewhat square. I went in with this with the halts as well, with the idea of not being fussy with the halts, especially. This was something I also spoke to my coach about, because Sugar is a very sensitive and reactive little mare. We decided that if she went in and stopped, that was the best thing for her, because the most important thing, especially when you're competing horses at this level, is the immobility in the hold. It's not how square the hold is. Like, obviously they're all important, but if the horse stops compared to a horse not stopping but standing somewhat square, the judge is more likely to reward the immobility than the quality of the hold itself. That is just talking about these lower levels. Obviously, that's not the case with the high levels, but the most important thing, especially being her first comp, we didn't want to overwhelm her. So for her to go in and halt for the 3 seconds that she's supposed to halt, that was a win. So anyway, she's going around really nicely. Here we have the canter. Unfortunately, she went on the wrong leg. That's fine. She came back immediately and I popped her back into canter on the correct lead. Now,
just so you guys have a little backstory, this horse has not even been under saddle for 3 months. So I'm so incredibly happy with how well she went. Look at her just trying her little heart out. She has so much potential, and I'm really excited to see where the future goes with her. She's just honestly amazing. Now, this comp is from about a month ago now, or maybe not quite, because as you guys know, I'm injured now. So I've only just gotten around to edit this now that I am injured and have time to edit it. So as you can see, I just gave her a little pat there, a little scratch, just so she could relax and lower her head. She's got a really nice walk. I always seem to get horses with really nice walks. So the big thing with this was to keep her happy, relaxed, and in the walk. And I'm honestly so surprised with how well she went. She is a horse with a lot of energy. She's a fiery little mare. And I thought she wouldn't want to walk. But look at her. Look at her stretch. What a good girl. There's not a tension in the world in her walk. She's lovely, happy, relaxed, stretching down. Honestly, she walks better than a lot of horses do in the high levels tests that have competed for ages. It's really nice to see. It's going to be a really nice walk once she develops. So I brought her back into the medium walk here, and then we ask for a trot just here. Nice little pop into trot. Yeah, honestly, like, there's not much more for me to say about these tests. Oh, there's a bit more for me to say in the other one, but there's not much more for me to say in this test apart from, like, we just honestly need miles. We need just that little bit more, yeah, work together. Like, this is honestly so good. She went around really nice and relaxed, which is all I wanted. Honestly, my goal for this day was to stay in the arena, because as you guys know, Bambi's first competition, she jumped out of the arena. All I wanted was to stay in the actual arena, which we did. And she went around really, really nicely. As you can see, she's starting to relax more and more here. She's dropping her head a little bit more. She does naturally hold her head in quite a high frame. So I'm trying to encourage her to drop her head a little bit, which we didn't get as much today, but that's understandable. Nice little canter transition, as you saw back there, and little nice 20-meter circle. Really nice controlled canter. She was really, really with me, and it just felt lovely. She was so on my aids. She is just a very, very responsive, as I already said, a responsive mare. She's always listening. She is always answering yes to everything I ask her. It's really nice, and it's just so exciting that obviously I've started this horse under saddle myself and done all of this myself, and it's just really nice when things, we get to our first comps. So, as you can see, Holt wasn't too bad. She stopped square, and I wasn't going to fix her. So, same thing goes with this test. She entered a lot straighter in this test, which is nice. Still a bit wobbly, but straighter than the first one. As I said, just going for the immobility. She swung out a little bit with her hind end, but we're not fixing that at this stage. She's so green that it's still just getting the very, very basics. I wasn't going out to this competition to win, to place. I wasn't going out to get a world-beating score. I was going out for a positive experience. I mean, it was a training day as well. It was really nice, low-key for her. And I just wanted her to go around the test. And that's what she did. She went around really happily. So, we aren't quite as consistent in this test. Just kind of, I think she was just getting a little bit tired. And it's hard to hold herself in a position when she is still so young. No, not so young, sorry. So green is the word I was looking for. Because she's not so young. But just, she's still building up all of these muscles. So for her to go out and do 2 tests was, pretty big for her. But she still went around happily, just not quite as consistent as the first test, which is understandable. But yeah, she's producing a really nice kind test. Bless her heart. And she's starting to drop her head a little bit more. But as I said, I ideally would like her head much lower than it is, and a little bit more, with her nose a little bit more forward. But she's just, that's stuff that'll come with time. And, more repetition. Especially, obviously, being a first comp, she's naturally going to hold herself in a bit more of an upright position, just because there is a little bit of tension there. Not that it really looks like there's much tension, but there is a little bit. And that was a nice little canter canter section there. Come back around, getting a little bit straighter down these long sides as the tests go on. And then here, she nearly dipped out of the arena, so you'll see I put my leg on, she's like, oh, okay. And I was like, no, we're not having another horse leave the arena, actually. That was a terrible stretch down, but that's fine. And then she thinks about stepping out of the arena again here, and I'm like, no. And just because I put my leg on a little bit, she was like, oh, canter? And I was like, oh, bless, no. I understand why you thought canter, but no, I did not mean that. Just because she is so responsive. Like, as soon as my leg moves and I put a leg on, she immediately is like, okay, what? Yeah, okay. Which is very different to Bambi. Bambi is nothing like this at all. She is quite lazy. She's not super lazy, but she is on the lazy side, and, you know, a little bit of a leg movement. She's like, huh? Can you do that again? I didn't quite listen. Ask again. Where Sugar's like, you ask once and she responds in some way. Whether it's what you want or not, it depends, but you know, she's obviously still learning, so sometimes, like that situation, I just wanted her to yield off my leg a bit, and she was like, oh, canter. I'm like, no, and just like there, I put my leg on a little bit too much, so she thought, oh, canter, and a little spook there, and I was like, no, sorry, I just want to trot. Training at home, sometimes when I put a little bit more leg on, she has gone to a walked canter. She does beautiful walked canters, but we're not asking for those yet, but they have happened. She's just a very, very different horse to ride to Bambi. I ride them both very different, so it's interesting going from one to the other because they are honestly completely different in every single way. So, anyway, back to it. And she kind of was like, oh, and I was like, no, keep going. Just a little part in her head that's like, I kind of want to leave, kind of don't know. Sorry, my phone just went off. And yeah, we come up for our final canter, which she was like, now, and I'm like, no, now. That was a nice little transition. Yeah, so she's just getting a little bit more inconsistent with the contact, but that's fine. Sugar's currently enjoying a break while I am injured. Oh, yeah, sorry. That was all me, by the way. I was honestly just sitting there enjoying the feeling of her canter, thinking this is so nice and controlled, and didn't put enough leg on. And she was like, trot? I'm like, oh my god, I know. I'm sorry. I'm supposed to be, you know, supporting you and helping you through this test and, you know, holding your hand. And I just sat there and was like, oh, this is nice. And she's like, do I stop? Do I stop? You haven't put leg on in a while. You haven't reminded me to keep doing this. Do I stop? Anyway, bless her little soul. What a nice little hole. Good girl. A good little Sugar. Oh, yes. Very, very good. Very happy with her.
Yeah, nice.
Sugar's aunt.
Oh, did I cut her nose off? Look at that. That was a really good photo.
Okay guys, just a quick reminder, make sure you check the link in my description so you can see all of these gorgeous pieces yourself and possibly purchase some. The prices from Ana Luisa start at just $39 USD and free shipping around the United States. So make sure you check them out and don't miss out on a really good deal.